Welcome back to the channel. My people, something powerful just happening outside the courtroom. Nnamdi Kanu's legal team came out and split fire on the government. They boldly declared that if Kanu was from the north, his case would have been completely different. They call it a shameful double standard. And that is not all. They raised deep concern about his illegal rendition from Kenya and the serious danger to his health inside the DSS custody. These are strong words coming straight from his lawyers, and they left Nigeria asking, why is justice different depending on where you come from? Wait until you hear their full statement yourself.
Intimidate you people because for land that DSS are even trying to intimidate eminent Professor Emeritus, Professor Allege, who has been a Provost College of Medicine, University of Nigeria, who has been a dean. His medical record is there, and somebody that is not even a consultant is questioning the report given by Allege. Now the team, you people constituted, met Nnamdi Kanu, that was 3 days ago, at the DSS, and Nnamdi Kanu subjected himself. We have that report. That report, as people have it, provide it in court. Having said that, now what gave rise to this particular issue of medical counsel is the petition I personally submitted against Dr. Mohammed Nasiru from DSS, the doctor that never examined Nnamdi Kanu, but he decided to depose falsely on oath. 37 paragraph affidavit. I submitted that petition. It was on that basis that Attorney General ordered the medical council to constitute a different board. We have been following it up, and that petition must be heard. And the Dr. Nasri should be, with his license as a medical doctor, if he is, should be withdrawn. I, Chief Barrister Maxwell Opera PhD, is submitting. It should be there. Just like what Honorable said, I'm highly disappointed to my fellow Igbo people.
Oh my God.
Nnamdi Kanu is suffering this because he's an Igbo.
Yes.
We must say it.
Yes.
Had it been that Nnamdi Kanu is from the north or from the southwest, we wouldn't have been there by now. And everybody's keeping quiet. Both the religious leaders, both the political leaders, both those in diaspora, nothing is happening. You feel that that is listen. I'm not disappointed. So the judge said that he's not aware of extraordinary rendition. We are taking it like that. We are going to bring a formal application. We are going to attach all the whole judgment given by even Kenya. The country said that yes, our country did not do well. Now Malami is he has turned activist. The Malami that comes in, he has turned activist. He's now in opposition. As you are doing anything, remember that you cannot be in government forever.
Yes, tomorrow.
That is my message to you. Thank you.
I want to say something. And finally, hold on. And finally, to conclude everything, it is despicable. We take a serious exception to the fact that the doctor that examined Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, emeritus professor of medicine, well renowned all over the world, that someone from the government side reported him to the Nigerian Medical Association, and he was someone to Lagos to face a panel, all because he returned the truthful diagnosis on Nnamdi Kanu. So this persecution knows no bounds. We are wondering when they are going to come after the lawyers as well. They are now going after the doctors. The idea that the doctor, the primary physicians for Nnamdi Kanu, chosen by him, is being intimidated by the government is despicable. The primary goal of everybody should be the health condition of Nnamdi Kanu, not the intimidation of anybody that brings the truth before the authorities. The doctor is a witness of truth, and on that truth we shall stand. Nnamdi Kanu's health condition is very paramount, and everybody should go out there and talk about it. You cannot stand trial if you are not healthy. Thank you very much. I want to say something very important, because I'm thinking that this ruling favors us to some extent. The judge said that there is no evidence of extraordinary rendition before him.
That is a case of jurisdiction. He has said it.
Yes.
So we are not entering defense until the court determines it whether he has jurisdiction or not. So the court has given us a hint. We are going to file it and bring the evidence that the court has. Once it discovers that the court has no jurisdiction, so let us go with the hope in our heart that the door is not closed. Very well. We are going to do it.
Well, the ruling is simply requires Nnamdi Kanu, the defendant, to enter his defense. It's not a pronunciation of guilt or not guilty. So that is why it's called a no-case submission. So the judge made a ruling that there's a prima facie evidence that needs to be explained. So in common parlance, it calls on him to come and mount his own defense. But there is the other aspect of the ruling that concerned extraordinary rendition. That very one is one that compounded us, because the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu is so open and notorious. Two international institutions or two separate panels of the United Nations have made pronouncements regarding his extraordinary rendition and called for his unconditional release. Nigeria is a member of the United Nations and therefore bound to consider that and implement that decision. And in Nigeria here, 3 courts have made similar pronouncements. First was by the Federal High Court of Umuahia, which awarded him 500 million naira. And the Court of Appeal also pronounced that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And in the Supreme Court, the same Supreme Court that sent this case back to trial, reached the same conclusion, that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And all these things are of the record. They are all in the file. And we remember when this trial was being conducted, these very documents were tendered in evidence. So it compounded us, it confused us, that the court now made a pronouncement that the extraordinary rendition had no evidence before the court, that no evidence of it was submitted before the court. And you remember, least but not the last, recently a Kenyan High Court made the same pronouncement. But well, if the court was misled by believing by mistake that these things were not in evidence, it also said and left the door open that such evidence be submitted. So we are coming back with that evidence, and it's going to be quantum and legion.
What about the first application on the enemy?
Well, that one too, it wasn't in evidence that the Nigerian Medical Association has intervened. So it came as a surprise. But there's a short date given of 8 days for the NMA to submit its report. So somebody is ill, you know, I don't think NA is going to change much of that. But I think the judge wanted to leave the record open to admit every possible evidence regarding this matter. But meantime, we are disappointed. Our client remains ill and remains detained, and we're not happy about that. His situation requires urgent and emergent care. So whatever the court says today does not mean that the government shall withdraw back. Just 2 days ago, I wrote a letter. A private hospital has also expressed readiness to admit him here in Abuja. For security reasons, I won't mention the name of the private hospital. But the government, if the government appears to have issues with taking him to the national hospital, we have given them an option of a private hospital also here in Abuja.
So it's safe to say that the application to be transferred to the national hospital was rejected?
Rejected? No, it's pending. Yes.
One other information.
It hasn't been rejected. It's pending. It's pending the admission of this report from the Nigerian Medical Association and the opinion of the Nigerian Medical Association. And you know, if you were in court, the judge had ordered that the committee or panel to be considered by the Nigerian Medical Association shall have a member from the National Hospital. So National Hospital.
My people, what you just heard is only the beginning. In this video, we will break down exactly what Kanu's lawyer said, why they believe his case is being treated with double standards, and how this connects to Nigeria's bigger problem of injustice. Stay with me till the end, because each segment reveals a deeper layers the government doesn't want you to know. Let us begin with what shocked everyone: the bold claim of double standard. Kanu's legal team did not hide their words. They said it loud and clear. If Nnamdi Kanu was a man from the north, his case would have been different. Think about that for a moment. How many times have we seen Northerners even those accused of terrorism being granted freedom or treated with soft hands. Boko Haram suspects have been released in the name of rehabilitation. Bandits who kidnap children have been in fight for negotiation. Yet, here we are. Kanu, a man whose crime is demanding freedom for his people, is locked away year after year. This is not just about Kanu anymore. It is about what justice looks like in Nigeria. One law for the North, another law for the South. One rule for the powerful, another rule for the weak. And my people, you know the painful truth: when a country practices selective justice, that country is already divided. The illegal redemption. The legal team also reminded the world of how this whole case began, with an act of illegality. Nnamdi Kanu was not arrested legally. He was not extradited through proper international process. No, he was kidnapped in Kenya and brought into Nigeria by force. This is what the lawyers call extraordinary redemption, and it is against both Nigerian law and international law. Till today, the government has no explanation for this crime. Ask yourself, if the foundation of a case is illegal, how can the case itself stand? If the government broke the law to bring him back, then how can they pretend to be defending the law by trying him? It shows clearly that his trial is not about justice. It is not about truth. It is about silencing a voice that refused to bow down. And the lawyers made it clear the illegality of his redemption is enough reason for the case to collapse. But why is the government still pushing? Because, my people, this is not justice. It is politics. His head under threat. Now, let us talk about something that cuts deep. Kanu's head. His lawyers came out today and said it again. His head is in danger. He is sick. He is weak. And yet, he is denied proper medical treatment. Inside the SS custody, they control everything he eats, every medicine he takes, and every doctor he sees. And when the lawyers cry out that their client needs urgent medical care, the DSS ignores it. Why? Is this justice, or is this a slow punishment? This is why many believe the government is not just keeping him in custody. They are trying to weaken him, breaking him, and silence him permanently. A man who is sick deserves medical attention. Even prisoners of war are allowed treatment under international law. But here in Nigeria, they are treating him as if his life has no value. This is the same man millions call their leader. If they can do this to him, what about ordinary citizens? Why the North-South divide matters? The statement about double standard goes beyond just Kanu case. It exposes the wound at the heart of Nigeria. The North-South divide is not just about politics. It is about justice. When Northern leaders or militants commit crimes, somehow the law bends for them. Amnesty programs, pardons, secret negotiation, they enjoy it all. But when it comes to the South, especially the Igbo, the law becomes hard, unforgiving. This is what Kanu's lawyers were pointing at. This is why people say Nigeria has two constitutions, one for the North and one for the rest. And when you think about it, is this not the same reason millions of Biafrans are crying for independence? They are saying, If one Nigeria means injustice, then let us go our separate way. The legal team's words today are not just about a courtroom. They are about a country that is tearing apart because fairness has been buried under tribal politics. The bigger message, a call for justice. At the end of the day, the lawyers are not just defending one man, they are defending justice itself. Kanu's case has become a mirror reflecting Nigeria's broken system. Think about it. A man kidnapped illegally. A man denied medical care. A man facing harsh treatment because of where he comes from. This is not just about Nnamdi Kanu. It is about every Nigerian who may one day face the same system. The lawyers fired today was more than a statement. It was a warning. Nigeria cannot survive if injustice continues to wear the crown. If one region is always favored and the other always punished, then unity is only a word on paper. True unity can never exist without justice. And that, my people, is the bigger message. This fight is not just about Biafra. It is about freedom, fairness, and the future. My people, you have heard the truth. The question is, will Nigerians continue to allow this injustice, or will they rise to demand fairness? Drop your thought in the comments. Like this video, share it with everyone, and let the world hear the cry for justice. Hashtag like, hashtag justice for Kanu, hashtag free Nnamdi Kanu now must never stop trending until he is free.